Hello and Kuzambo everyone. Um, yeah, it's been close to a month that I've been on TikTok on and off, mostly scrolling, and I really enjoy it. I also find it scary because I can imagine when my 80-year-old mom is also consuming TikTok at night and sporadically throughout the day, as well as I can't imagine if my 5-year-old daughter were to get a free, no holds barred access to TikTok, then I can't imagine what it would do to her mental health. And I've tried to shove out some content here on TikTok, some of my poems, some of my dry jokes from Bodhitri, Bhutan, and Changsem Mande, and a few of my old videos from my time at BPS. And it's got some attention. And I want to thank all of you who took time out of your hectic TikToking schedule to check out my video. It's not got any scenic, exciting things that I can show thanks to my eyes. But at the same time, it gives me a sense of connection that, people have been watching it, people have been liking it. Some people have even gone so far as to comment on it. And I want to thank all of you for that. I find it that I don't know how long I can be on TikTok because in a day or two I'll be heading back to Sikkim, and I'll have to figure out all that nonsense with VPN and stuff like that on how I can access it. And most of the time, because of that, I don't find my way back to TikTok. But hopefully, um, in a month or two, I should be able to do more regular content on TikTok, I think. So let's see what happens with that. But today I actually thought of doing this live, but can't figure out. I just did a live on YouTube with regard to Bodhitri Bhutan, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this video is I want to ask you guys to check it out. It's Bodhitri Bhutan. It's spelled exactly like that, and you search for it, and you'll see the tree BTB. And if you find any of my content, much of it is old content, with an exception of a few live and a few reels that we have been rehashing and re-editing. So if you like that, and as always, your feedback is most welcome. At the end of the day, we are making content for you, and you should have a say in what kind of content we make. So yeah, that's that. Besides that, sad news today that Mr. Ratan Tata has left us. And for me, I found maybe a few seconds that I was able to dedicate to the passing of Mr. Ratan Tata, and can't imagine how what a beautiful impact he has had on our shared planet. Uh, Forget about the innovation that the Tata company has given us with regard to vehicles, or be it IT, or be it all of the other things that he was doing in the manufacturing section and with regard to trade. But I think one of his legacy has to be the Tata cancer hospitals. I know of two, one in Kolkata and the other one in Mumbai. And the Mumbai one, I can't say I had a privilege, but I found my way there. And because cancer is such a disease that I remember one cab driver. I Throughout my life, many of my conversations have been with rickshaw drivers, cab drivers, Uber drivers now, and I've always enjoyed my conversation. And I remember one cab driver in Kolkata telling me about how he lost his mother to cancer, and what a terrible disease cancer is. Forget about the person who gets the disease and what he or she has to go through, the pain and the suffering and chemo and God knows what, all of those things. But the fact that the disease costs so much, and because of that, at the end of the day, if the person loses their battle with cancer, then they leave the world. But what they leave behind is a family who is most often in bad financial shape. And Mr. Ratan Tata, with his cancer hospitals, I know for a fact that it's people get treated for, I think, free in these hospitals. The amazing thing that I find is the detailing that Mr. Ratan Tata did with regard to the fact that if you're an Indian citizen, And if you're availing services from these cancer hospitals, then if you're using public transport, if you're flying or if you're taking the train, I know that I think the patients get to fly free and the attendant gets close to 50 or 25 or 75% of their fare subsidized. And that's I guess at the end of the day or end of our lives, if you're able to live a world where you have made such a positive impact, then I think that's a life well lived. So thank you, Mr. Ratan Tata, and I'm sure you're in a better place. Besides that, I think today is also, if I'm not mistaken, 10th October is World Mental Health Day. And amongst the many things, many topics that I've been wanting to talk about on Changse Monday, as well as Bodhi Tree Bhutan, and now here on TikTok, it has been mental health. Besides mental health, the other topics that I want to talk about is also personal finance. I think India is way ahead with regard to personal finance. The US, the rest of the world, we don't even have to talk about it. But I think in Bhutan, if any of the influencers are watching this, please look at fin influencers. It's a tricky word. So, but yeah, there are influencers who are talking about finance, and I think if Bhutan is going to achieve gross national happiness, if the Gelefu mindfulness city is going to be a success, then I think we Bhutanese need to be more savvy with our money. And I have in the past 2 or 3 years personally looked into a lot of content, absorbed, read, so that I could be more financially sound. And what I know, I will be sharing in the days to come. Besides personal finance, conscious eating. I don't want to say vegan, vegetarian, plant based eating. I want to talk about conscious eating now because it has come to it is my understanding that you could be a vegetarian or a vegan or a plant based person, and at the end of the day, if you're not conscious about it, just like how we are Bhutanese and we are born Buddhist, but if you're not open to Buddhism, then it's like as if you are not born in a Buddhist country. In that very similar fashion, if you're born in a vegetarian or a vegan family, but if you're not conscious about the fact that you're making such a positive impact on life, on your own life, and on the planet, and on the lives that you're not putting on the plate, then I think you are not really reaping the positive effects of being vegan and vegetarian. So I think, or in the flip side, you could be a meat person who consumes meat, an omnivore, pescatarian, flexitarian. But if you're consciously eating, if you're aware of the fact that this produce that has been put on your plate comes from the hard work of a farmer somewhere in Tashiangsi or somewhere in India, and you know the trouble and the grain, the person who cooked it for you. So if you're consciously eating, if you're aware of your carbon footprint and all of these stuff, then I guess you're mindful, and then you can be a citizen of the Gelefu mindfulness city, and eventually with mindfulness you'll be happier. So you could find your way. You would be one less person unhappy in a country that's trying its best to achieve happiness. And personal finance, healthy eating, conscious eating, and besides that, sleep. I think sleep is a very important thing that when I was young, I didn't pay much attention to it, and as a result of it, not as a result of it, but now I'm aware of it, and I think that's one thing, especially with regard to skin, pimple, and acne. I mean, there's many things, staying hydrated, and all of these things that contributes to healthier and better skin. But I think sleep is up there. And besides that, there are a lot of more interesting topics that I wanted to talk about. And if you've watched this video long in this far, then one topic that is very close to my heart, because I have a wife, I have mothers, I have sisters, aunts, and at the same time I have two daughters. Menopause. I think we here in Bhutan are not paying enough attention to menopause. And in my later videos, in coming up videos, whatever I know, I will share about in this topic. So everyone, thank you. We are making great progress as a nation and as a globe towards better mental health, but more still needs to be done. In the very famous words of Robert Frost, miles to go before we sleep, guys. All right. Thank you for your time.